What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report. After a week break, I am back, and boy, we have a lot of news today that I have to uncover. A lot of trade rumors, man. A lot of trade talks. Some starting lineup things. Players being injured. We do have a game tonight at 7:30 against the New York Knicks, a rematch, 2-game winning streak. A lot of things to go through, but let's get right into it. Starting off with, actually, before we even get right into it, shout out to the subscribers, man. We're at 273 right now. Get that 300. Let's get that 300. Build this community up. You guys are the best, man. You guys are absolutely the best. And make sure y'all leave your comments down below. Leave your thoughts down below. Whatever I'm saying right now. Very important that we interact with the community. So let's get right into it, man. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is something that has been, sourced by Bleacher Report, and I don't know how reliable this source is. Don't ask me. But this is something that has been all over social media for a couple days now, and it's that the Miami Heat have had a long-awaited interest in trading for Kyle Lowry. Now, this is very interesting to me. Kyle Lowry on the Miami Heat would Kyle Lowry fit on the Miami Heat is the main question, and number two is what would we have to give up for Kyle Lowry if we were to trade for him? Now, here's some things about Kyle Lowry. Obviously, right now, he's still averaging about 17 points per game. So, slowly he's getting up there in age, but he's still a very capable player. The problem with Kyle Lowry is that, number one, this season he's making $30 million a year, and second of all, he is a free agent next year. So if we were to trade for him, we would have to make up the money this year, but we would also have to take care of his contract at the end of the season. So if we were gonna trade for Kyle Lowry, I would want a commitment. I would want a commitment from Kyle Lowry, so that we can re-sign him at the free agent. But this is really interesting because I've seen a lot of mock trades for Kyle Lowry for the Miami Heat, and some of them include Goran Dragic in it because of the similar age, similar contract. Both of them are free agents. The problem with trading for Kyle Lowry, as I said, is that since he's a free agent, we might be giving up assets. We might be giving up assets for acquiring a guy that is, number one, getting up there in age, and number two, gonna have to re-sign with us, which is why I prefer trading for Oladipo instead of Kyle Lowry, because we already know that he wants to be in Miami. So I feel that with Kyle Lowry, would you guys think Kyle Lowry would fit on the Miami Heat? Now, I think if you guys in the comments were to ask me, hey, what do you think our priority positions should be to try to get, and I would say a power forward, because I know we're on a 2-game winning streak, but I still think Kelly Olynyk is a guy that should be a spark plug off the bench rather than as a starter, because we don't have a power forward off the bench either. I think we've tried to play KZ a couple times there, but he's not really getting consistent minutes. Obviously, Myers Leonard has suffered a season-ending injury, so we haven't really had a power forward off the bench. I think it's been Iguodala, with guys like Max Strus playing at the small forward sometimes. So I'm not sure how this would work with Kyle Lowry. They would obviously want guys like Duncan Robinson. If it's trading Tyler Hero for Kyle Lowry, I wouldn't want to do it whatsoever, because Kyle Lowry is 35 years old. And Tyler Hero is a guy with a future and is already, blossoming into a very good player right before our eyes. So I would not want to give up Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, or Jimmy Butler. They would probably ask for Precious, Duncan, maybe Iguodala. So it'd be interesting to see what we give up for Kyle Lowry. Like I said, 17 points per game, 6 rebounds and 7 assists. He's doing a little bit of everything. He's one of my favorite players in the league because he's a guy that he does a lot of stuff that don't even show up on the stat sheet. He's shooting 43% from the field, averaging 1 steal a game. Very good defender for his position. Just very small for the point guard position, but he's still a good defender. So, yeah, man. I mean, with Kyle Lowry, I think we should hold off on this trade and try to get a power forward first, and then we can think about getting guys like Kyle Lowry and whoever else we were trying to get. Because I do think if you were to ask me, like I said, what's the priority position, it would be the starting power forward position. We're still lacking that 3-and-D power forward. See, the problem with Kelly Olynyk is that, when he's on, but when he's off, he's really, really off, and his shot selection is very weird for me. I do think that, the game against the Wizards, where he was knocking down threes, I think that he was standstill, whereas some of the threes that he was taking at some other points were fading threes, where he was kind of running off screens and stuff like that. And I don't think that, that's Kelly Olynyk's style. He's 6'11", but I do think he's better as a spark plug off the bench. So, but if we were to trade for Kyle Lowry, we would definitely have to give up either Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson. I wouldn't want to give up Tyler Hero. And I mean, this might sound foolish, but fully healthy, I don't really think there's much of a difference with what you're getting between a Kyle Lowry and a Goran Dragic. I don't really think there's that big of a difference. So I don't think Kyle Lowry is a guy that we should try to get and give up assets for when he's a free agent, and he's not giving that much over what Goran Dragic is giving us right now. I know Goran Dragic is injured, but he's also a guy that's very similar to Kyle Lowry as far as, offensive production. He's been our facilitator off the bench. He's going to continue to be the facilitator off the bench. And speaking of off the bench stuff, I want to move on to Kendrick Nunn, because Kendrick Nunn has quietly been one of our best players this season. He has got some DNPs, he has got some low minute games, but when his number has been called, he's been showing up, and that's what we need from Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn is a guy that I'm very high on. Kendrick Nunn. All the Heat fans saying it was a fluke what he did last year, whatever. You can't fluke an 82 game season. I know it wasn't 82 games completely because of the COVID and all that stuff, but y'all know what I mean. Like, ain't no way you can fluke something for that long. And I think he's shown this year that what he did last season was not a fluke. He's probably, after Jimmy, Bam, and maybe Goran, he's probably up there with, as far as like finishing at the rim. He's one of the best on the team. So I do think he's a very valuable piece for us, whether we trade him or keep him. I do think he should be the starting point guard. I think that experiment with Tyler at the point guard position should be over. He's just not a point guard. I like him off the bench now because, obviously, with Tyler, he can just play free off the bench. He doesn't have to worry about playmaking, because that'll be Goran's job off the bench. In the starting lineup, he was trying to do too much. I feel like Tyler's a scorer, and I think when Tyler is a scorer, that's when he's at his best. So Kendrick Nunn, I do think, should be in the starting lineup. It's going to be interesting to see how we play him in the future, because once Goran Dragic and Avery Bradley come back, obviously his minutes might decrease, and we're going to have to do something we have like 5 guards on the team that are all very capable, with Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Avery Bradley, Goran Dragic, and Tyler Hero. And these are like the solidified guards. We even have guys like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus who have been getting minutes as well. So interesting to see how Spo juggles all those minutes. And for everyone who was talking about how Spo was an overrated coach a couple games ago, I hope you guys sit down right now, because there's no way you should have been saying that about Eric Spoelstra. I've seen a lot of negative comments about Spo as soon as after that loss against the Charlotte Hornets, saying that he's overrated and this, that, and the other. He can be criticized. I don't have any problem with criticizing the coach, because that's something you have to do. Some coaches make mistakes. I criticized Spo in the last video, so I mean I know that coaches can get criticism, but all this, he's overrated, he's not a good coach, we should get rid of him, all that stuff. Nah, you guys are not real Heat fans if you think that. But if we're talking about going back to the trade scenarios, if you were to ask me which power forwards I would like to get, there are 4 on my mind right now who I think are realistic. Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, Marvin Bagley, and Thaddeus Young, I think should be at the top of the list of the players that he should try to be trading for. I think one of those players should be on the team at the trade deadline, because they're 3-and-D power forwards, and that's what we need. Aaron Gordon, he can shoot the 3. Not as effectively as some other stretch bigs can, but he's capable of shooting the 3. Good defender. He can do a lot of things. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He can even put the ball on the floor and make a play. PJ Tucker, corner specialist, can defend multiple positions. Marvin Bagley is a guy with tremendous upside. He's just a guy that has been disgruntled in Sacramento. And I think we can get him out of that situation if we need to. It fits the profile of the player we need. And Thaddeus Young is a player that has actually been linked to the Heat. So, and he's another 3-and-D player. So I do think we should explore trading for some of these guys. I do think the starting power forward position should be our priority. It's interesting to see how we play against the New York Knicks, and hopefully we can up this winning streak to a 3, 4, 5 game winning streak. I think we look very comfortable right now. The whole team looks in a good rhythm. They look in a good rhythm. I think defensively we could be doing a lot better, but I do think that we have upped our offensive production in these last couple of games against the Wizards and the Knicks. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how we play against the Knicks, and hopefully, we up this winning streak, because it's very crucial. Where the Eastern Conference is actually at the bottom, man, not that great this year. A lot of the teams are under 500, and we're not that far away from the 8th seed. The 8th seed right now is the Toronto Raptors, funnily enough, and we are the 12th seed at 9-14, and they are 11-13. So they're not that far away from us, the Toronto Raptors, and I do think that we can make a push to get up to that playoff spot, which we need to, right? And I do think if we end up around 4 or 5, I think if we end up around 5, I think that'd be a good recovery from where we started, right? I think the 76ers, Bucks, Nets, and Celtics are all going to be very high, but I think after that, I think if we end up as a 5 seed, match up against the Celtics, whoever it is, 6, 5 seed, doesn't matter, man. I think 5 seed should be a good spot for us, considering where we were at the beginning of the season. If you had asked me before the season started, I would have liked us to be at 3 or 4. But considering all the COVID and injuries and stuff like that, I think 5 is a good recovery, and hopefully we can get up to 5. I'm targeting the 5 seed as something that we need to, as a goal that we need to set for ourselves. And we're not that far away. We're not that far away. Tied for the 11th seed. I think the Bulls have the tiebreaker. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But just wanted to get this video out for you. Talk about the trade rumors, the Kendrick Nunn thing, Kyle Lowry, the power forward position, and let me know what you guys think. And let me know what you guys think about the Kyle Lowry situation, whether Kendrick Nunn should be starting, what power forward did you guys try to get, and yeah, that's about it, man. I'll see y'all later. As always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe and comment down below what y'all think. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace.